AITA for not letting my stepson move back in after he pranked me. I, 48M, have been married to my wife Karen, 45F, for 5 years. She has a son, Dylan, 22M, from a previous relationship. When Karen and I first got together, one of my biggest concerns was how my relationship with Dylan would play out. At the time, he was 17 and in high school, and let's just say he wasn't thrilled about his mom remarrying. It wasn't easy in the beginning. Dylan wasn't outright rude or mean, but he was distant. He'd roll his eyes when I tried to bond with him, would respond in one-word answers if I asked about his day, and would always find an excuse to leave the room when it was just the two of us. I understood. His dad wasn't in the picture much, and he probably felt like I was trying to replace him. But over time, I thought we'd made progress. I helped pay for his college tuition because I wanted him to succeed. Karen and I even went without vacations for a couple of years so we could save up enough to support him through school. I never made a big deal about it because, to me, that's what family does. When Dylan graduated this past spring, Karen and I were proud of him. He didn't have a job lined up yet, but that's pretty common for new grads these days. Karen and I agreed that he could move back in with us while he job hunted. We figured it'd be a few months tops. At first, things were fine. Dylan was mostly respectful. He kept to himself, but would join us for dinner sometimes. I didn't mind having him around, though I'll admit I was looking forward to getting the house back to ourselves eventually. Then about a month in, Dylan started hanging out with this new group of friends. I don't know much about them except for what he's told us, but apparently they're into pranks. Harmless fun, right? Or so I thought. At first, it was small stuff. He'd jump out from behind a door to scare me or put plastic wrap over the toilet seat. Annoying, sure, but I brushed it off. I even laughed once or twice because I figured he was just trying to have fun. But then the pranks started escalating. One night, he replaced the milk in the fridge with some weird green liquid that looked like sludge. I didn't realize until I'd poured it into my coffee. When I confronted him, he burst out laughing and said, "Relax, it's food coloring. It's funny." Another time, he filled the hallway with dozens of balloons. It took me over an hour to clean it up just so I could walk to my office. Again, he laughed it off, saying, "Come on, it's harmless." I started to get annoyed. I work from home as a project manager, and my job is demanding. I have deadlines, meetings, and clients who expect me to deliver top-quality work. I told Dylan that while I appreciated his sense of humor, I needed him to be more mindful of my space and time. He said he understood, but I could tell he wasn't taking me seriously. Then came the prank. 2 weeks ago, Karen went out of town to visit her sister for a long weekend. It was just me and Dylan at home. I had a massive presentation scheduled for Monday morning, a project I'd been working on for weeks. It was one of those make-or-break moments for my career, and I was determined to nail it. Monday morning, I woke up early, had my coffee, and went to my home office to do some final prep. But when I opened the door, I stopped dead in my tracks. Everything, and I mean everything, in my office was wrapped in duct tape. My computer, monitor, keyboard, mouse, files, pens, even my chair. Layers upon layers of duct tape. I just stood there, staring, trying to process what I was seeing. And then I heard it, Dylan laughing behind me. I turned around, and there he was, phone in hand, recording the whole thing. "Gotcha! What do you think?" he said, grinning like he just pulled off the prank of the century. I couldn't even speak. I was so angry I could feel my blood boiling. I didn't have time for this. I had less than an hour before my presentation, and now I couldn't even access my computer or my files. I snapped. "What the hell, Dylan? Do you have any idea what you've done?" He just shrugged. "Come on, it's funny. Chill out." "Funny?" I shouted. "You've ruined my presentation. I can't even get to my files because of this stupid stunt." He rolled his eyes. "It's just a joke, dude. You're overreacting." I lost it. I told him that this wasn't a joke. It was disrespectful, immature, and completely out of line. I spent the next 20 minutes frantically trying to cut through the tape. Some of my files were ruined, and I barely managed to pull together enough to scrape through the presentation. After the meeting, which didn't go well, by the way, I confronted Dylan again. I told him how much stress he'd caused me and how disrespected I felt. He just shrugged and said, "It's not that deep. You need to lighten up." When Karen came back that evening, I told her everything. I expected her to back me up, but instead, she said, "He's just a kid, honey. He made a dumb mistake. You don't need to blow this out of proportion." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Karen, he's 22. He's not a kid. He's an adult who should know better. And this wasn't just a dumb mistake. It was deliberate and thoughtless. We argued for hours. I told her that I couldn't live with someone who had so little respect for me or my work. She said I was being too harsh and that I needed to give Dylan a second chance. But here's the thing. This wasn't the first time Dylan had disrespected me. It was just the first time it had real consequences. I felt like if I let this slide, I'd be telling him that it's okay to treat me like a joke. So I told Dylan he needed to move out. I didn't care where he went. He could stay with his friends or get his own place. But I wasn't going to let him live under my roof anymore. He packed his things and left the next day. He sent me a text a few days later, apologizing, but it felt half-hearted. Like he was only saying sorry because Karen told him to. I replied, I appreciate the apology, but I still think it's best for you to stay somewhere else. Now, Karen is furious with me. She says I'm overreacting, that I'm putting my pride above family, and that I'm driving a wedge between her and her son. I tried to explain that this isn't about pride, it's about respect. But she doesn't see it that way. I'm starting to wonder if I'm the problem here. Am I being too harsh? Should I let Dylan move back in? Or was I right to draw a line in the sand?